Hello everyone, I am your chemistry teacher, Professor Sachin Mohangage. Welcomes all of you in Sanjeevani Lecture Management System. Friends, in the last lecture or day before this lecture, we started the second content of second topic, that is your unit second, the prevention of the metal. Okay, and we already studied the methods by which we can protect the metals. Okay, so usually there are the four methods which are used for the protection of metal from the corrosion, okay, or either from the rust. The first method is the modification of environment. We already studied the modification of the environment, and modification of the environment can be done either by using the removal of corrosion stimulant or either the use of corrosion inhibitors. Second, modification of the properties of the metals. So we can modify or improve the properties of the metal. How? By the process of alloying. Metal, when they are mixed with other alloying element, maybe a metal or the non-metal, you will get the alloy. And you know that the alloys are more corrosion resistant as compared to the metal, and therefore the corrosion is not possible in case of your alloy, or the rate of corrosion is less as compared to the metal. So we can use the method like your alloying. Then you can use the method like your purification of metal. You are going to purify the metal, that is called as the refining of the metal, refining or the purification of the metal. Okay, so where we can refine or purify the impure metal so as to obtain the extra pure metal. And you know that the pure metal has more corrosion resistance property as compared to the impure metal, and hence we can reduce the rate of corrosion. So purification or the refining is the second method. Third, annealing. Annealing is the process by which we can subject the metal or either your material like your alloys, for example steel or either the iron, to a very high temperature, for example 650 degrees centigrade, and they are allowed to cool step by step. Means in a controlled condition the metals are heated to a very high temperature and they are allowed to cool. By doing this we can improve the characteristic or the properties of the metals, and here the which characteristic is improved, that is the corrosion resistance, and therefore the rate of corrosion can be reduced when that metal or the alloy they are subjected for alloy. So that is, we already studied the modification of the properties of metal. Third, application of protective coating. So there are mainly two methods: inorganic protective coating and the organic protective coating. Inorganic protective coatings are of three types. One is the oxide film formation, second phosphate film formation, and the third one is metal coating or the metallic coating. Metal coating are of two types: a coating of more active metal, example is a galvanizing, and the second one is the coating of less active metal, that is your cleaning. So we already discussed these three methods. In today's lecture we are going to discuss about the cathodic protection, and cathodic protections are of two types. The first one is the sacrificial anodic protection, and the second one is by using the impressed current. So let us start with the use of sacrificial anodic protection. So this method is applicable for which structure? So here our aim, our motto, our objectives is that we are going to protect our metallic structure. That is our article. So the main object or the main aim of cathodic protection or all these that is your metal protection method is to protect our structure from the rusting or either from the corrosion, where the atmospheric condition or the factors which are present in the atmosphere or in the surrounding, they can attack on the metallic surfaces and it start the destruction or the decay of metal. So here we are going to stop the decay or the destruction of metal, that is from that. So this method is applicable mainly for the buried pipelines. Buried pipelines in the sense the pipelines which are buried under the soils. For example, which pipelines? For example, the water pipelines, or the oil pipelines, or the gas pipelines. These are the buried pipelines. So these buried pipelines which are buried under the soil in the earth, we can protect it by using the cathodic protection. Second one, underground cables. Underground cable in the sense, say for example, the cables, telephonic cables, or we know that nowadays the cables in a open atmosphere is not used nowadays. So generally what happens, that cables, they are buried under the soil, so they are said to be a underground cables. So underground cables are protected by the cathodic protection. Then your water tank, where the tank in which we fill the water, okay, so that water tank is also undergoes the corrosion, because due to the surrounding environment is your water, okay. So what happens, the corrosion of your water tank start, and here we can protect the water tanks by the cathodic protection. Ship hull in the sense, ship, do you know the ship, and the bottom of the ship, mainly they are made by using the stainless steel, or either the alloy or the metallic part. So the base of that ship is a metallic part. It may be a metal, or either the alloy, or the side part which is always comes in contact with the sea water, salty water. Okay. So when such type of the metallic structure, when it comes in contact with the salty water, then what happens, in presence of that surrounding environment or the medium, the metallic structure undergoes the corrosion. So we are going to protect our ship hull, that is the base part of your ship, or the side part of the ship. So that is the ship hull, or the marine structure in the sense, the metallic structure which are constructed in the sea, in the marine. So many structures which are constructed in the sea. So that structure, that metallic structure, always comes in contact with the sea water, and we are going to protect that metal from the corrosion. So how? So consider this is our underground pipeline. Okay. So this is our article, this is our structure. We are going to protect them. Okay. So what happens in this method? The sacrificial anode is connected to the article or to the structure. That structure we are going to protect it from the rusting, or either from the corrosion. So which sacrificial anodes are used? So mainly the magnesium is one of them. So magnesium is the example of the sacrificial anode which are used in a sacrificial anodic protection method. The second example, the first one is the magnesium, the second one is the zinc, and the third one is the aluminum. These are the example of the sacrificial anodes that can be used for sacrificial anodic protections, or their alloys, means the alloys of the magnesium, alloys of the zinc, or the alloys of the aluminum can be used as a sacrificial anode. So in this method, the method is very simple. The structure that we want to protect it from the rusting, or either from the corrosion, the structure which are buried under the soil. For example, here for the sake of convenience, we take an example of the underground pipeline. So underground pipeline is our metallic structure that we want to protect that metallic structure from further rusting, or that is from the further corrosion. That's why that underground pipeline is connected by means of the metallic wire to the sacrificial anode. Here the sacrificial anode taken is your magnesium. Okay. So simply through the metallic wire, the underground pipeline, that is your metallic structure, is connected to the sacrificial anode. So what happens when it is connected to the sacrificial anode? At that time what happens? The sacrificial anode is the metal or the alloy which are active as compared to your metallic structure. So the active metals are nothing but the sacrificial anode which are used for the sacrificial anodic protection. So magnesium is a highly active metal, zinc is the highly active metals, or the aluminum is the active metal as compared to your steel, or either the iron articles of the structures. So highly active metals or their alloys, they are used for sacrificial anodic protection, and they are called as the sacrificial anodes. So what happens when these two metallic structures, they are connected by means of the metallic wire, and in presence of conducting mediums, for example soil, here the electrolytic cells are set. So out of that, in the last lecture we studied that when electrolytic cells are set up, when all the conditions are satisfied, at that time what happens? The one structure or the one metal becomes anode and the second metal becomes cathode. So magnesium is a more active metal, so that's why your magnesium becomes anode and your structure automatically becomes the cathode, and therefore the magnesium that is the anode undergoes the corrosion, and here the cathode is always protected. So your structure gets protected where the magnesium which sacrifice their life for our structure, so that's why they are said to be a sacrificial anode, as they are more active and hence they becomes anode, and therefore the structure becomes the cathode. Cathode is protected and your anode undergoes the corrosion, that is the oxidation. Okay, so magnesium gets corroded and your underground pipelines, that is your structure, get protected. So what happens once, say for example, after some time, okay, this magnesium is consumed, it get exhausted completely, it get consumed totally. At that time what happens? We are going to replace that magnesium with the new piece of your magnesium. So we can replace the magnesium with the new one, and here this process is continued, and in this way we can protect our structure or base metal from the further rusting or rather the corrosion, which is called as the simply the use of sacrificial anodic protection. तर ह्या मेथडमध्ये काय होतं, सॅक्रिफिशियल एनोडिक प्रोटेक्शन म्हणजे काय की जो ॲक्टिव्ह मेटल राहतो, ॲक्टिव्ह मेटल, तर असा मेटल म्हणजे कोणता, मॅग्नेशियम असेल किंवा झिंक असेल किंवा ॲल्युमिनियम असेल किंवा त्यांचे ॲलॉय असेल, तर ते ॲलॉय काय करतो आपण, ज्या आपल्या स्ट्रक्चरला प्रोटेक्ट करायचं आहे तर त्या स्ट्रक्चरला आपण काय करतो, मेटॅलिक वायर सहाय्याने त्यांना काय करतो, त्यांचा नाव हियर सॅक्रिफिशियल एनोडिक प्रोटेक्शन. इन सॅक्रिफिशियल एनोड you can take a piece, plate, rod, whatever it may be, the things which are available with you, you can take. There are the various form of that your sacrificial anode. It may be, say for example, rod. You can take a rod, you can take a plate or anything. Okay. So इथं आपण मॅग्नेशियम रॉड घेऊ शकतो आणि आपण काय करणार आहे, अंडरग्राउंड पाईपलाईनला तो मेटॅलिक वायरच्या सहाय्याने कनेक्ट करणार आहे. ओके, आणि हे जे काही अंडरग्राउंड पाईपलाईन आहे तर ते these are buried underground pipelines, they are buried under the soils. सो आपल्याला याला प्रोटेक्ट करायचं आहे आणि त्यासाठी आपण कोणाचा बळी देतोय, सॅक्रिफाईस करतोय तर मॅग्नेशियमला, त्याला सॅक्रिफिशियल एनोड म्हणतो. मग दोघांना आपण जेव्हा कनेक्ट करणार तर त्यावेळेस मॅग्नेशियम मोर ॲक्टिव्ह असल्यामुळं तर तो एनोड बनतो आणि नो डाऊट आपलं जे स्ट्रक्चर तर ते काय बनतं, कॅथोड बनतं. आणि आपल्याला माहिती आहे एनोड जो आहे तर त्या एनोडचं नेहमी काय होतं, करोजन होतं. मग मॅग्नेशियमचं करोजन होणार आहे म्हणजे तुमच्या कॅथोडचं काय होणार आहे, प्रोटेक्शन होणार आहे, आणि ह्या केसमध्ये मॅग्नेशियमचं काय होणार आहे, स्लोली करोजन होणार आहे. एक वेळ अशी हा जो मॅग्नेशियम हा टोटली काय होणार आहे, कन्झ्युम होणार आहे, त्याचं डिके होणार आहे, डिस्ट्रक्शन होणार आहे. तर त्यावेळेस आपण काय करणार, तर त्यावेळेस आपण हा जो मॅग्नेशियम रॉड किंवा हा जो पीस आहे तर तो काय करणार, रिप्लेस करणार दुसऱ्या मॅग्नेशियम, न्यू मॅग्नेशियम पीसने. तर त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो, रिप्लेस प्रोसेस म्हणतो. दिस इज ऑल अबाउट दी cathodic protection. Second method is by using the impressed current. This method is somewhat different as compared to the cathodic protection, but you find the similarities in a sacrificial anodic protection and by using the impressed current. Okay, so first of all, this method is applicable for the water box cooler. So we are going to protect our structure from the further rusting or either from the corrosion. So for which structure this method is applicable, that is your by using the impressed current. First of all, water box cooler generally undergoes the corrosion. We can protect the water box cooler by using the impressed current. Then water tank, then your buried oil or water pipes, similar to this sacrificial anodic protection, we can protect buried oil or the water pipes. Condenser, we can protect the condenser. Then your marine piers, in the sense the structure, marine structures, we can protect the marine structure also. Here the transmission lines, in the sense the lines, simply it is a buried cable. Transmission line or the towers can be protected by using the impressed current. I mean impressed current, say for example, this is our buried pipelines, and here in this way we are going to make that buried pipelines which undergoes the corrosion. We are going to protect that buried pipelines from the corrosion. So here forcefully we are going to make that buried pipelines which is act as an anode forcefully by giving the impressed current. For that, we can use the DC source, direct current source. We forcefully make anode as a cathode. So that's why they are said to be cathodic protection. So in a cathodic protection, what happens here? This is our structure, that is the buried pipeline, so that we are going to protect it from the corrosion. Okay. So in this case, what happens? The impressed current, the source of impressed current is your DC source, direct current source. That direct current source is passed through the metallic wire to your buried pipeline, where we can nullify the corrosion current. So the DC current is passed exactly in opposite direction so as to nullify or counterbalance the corrosion current. So what happens when this is the buried pipeline, this is the structure, when it undergoes the corrosion, it undergoes the oxidation, it gives the electrons. Okay, so whatever the electrons which are given, that is called the corrosion current, and we are going to supply the current from the DC source in exactly opposite direction. So this structure gives the current. So this structure gives the current, means electrons. That is called the corrosion current. Okay. So from the DC source we supply the current exactly in opposite direction. So this gives the current and we supply the current from the DC source so as to nullify the corrosion current or counterbalance the corrosion current. Okay. So for that we require the DC source, and the negative terminal of the DC source is connected to the buried pipeline. Okay. We require the anode also, because when negative source of your DC current or when the negative terminal of the source is connected to the buried pipeline, at that time this structure becomes cathode. From anode it becomes cathode. Okay. No doubt, one is the cathode, other required is your anode. So we have taken the anode. For example, generally insoluble graphite is used as a anode. You can use the scrap iron, scrap steel material, or you can use also the platinum. So platinum is a costly method, so we cannot use here the platinum as a insoluble anode. So mostly the insoluble graphites or the scrap iron or the steel structure is used as a anode, and therefore that anode, say for example here our anode is your graphite, which is insoluble. Okay, and here the positive terminal of the DC source is connected to the insoluble anodes, but that anode is kept or packed in a backfill. So backfill in the sense it is a combination of, say for example, coal and NaCl, so as to increase the conductivity. Of the soil. For that purpose, the anode, they are placed in a backfill, coal and sodium chloride. Similarly, in case of your sacrificial anodic protection, this magnesium is also packed in a backfill so as to increase the electrical conductivity. Electrical conductivity in the sense, say for example, magnesium gives the electrons, so that electrons should be reached to the cathodes, and so as to increase the electrical conductivity, that magnesium is placed in a backfill. Similarly, your insoluble graphite, which is act as an anode, they are also placed in a backfill, and your backfill contain a combination of coal and sodium chloride. So positive terminal is connected to the insoluble anode, so this becomes anode. Okay, so what happens? This insoluble anode undergoes slowly corrosion. It undergoes the corrosion very slowly, and here your buried pipelines, which is act as a cathode, gets protected. So this method are said to be a use of impressed current. So by using the DC source, we convert the anodic metal into the cathode, and we can use the anode, such type of the anodes which are insoluble. So mostly the graphites or the scrap ions or the steel is the insoluble anodes. So these methods are generally applicable for the structures are huge in a size. This method is applicable for the large structure, and this method is one of the, you can say that long-term used methods where the cost is very high, and therefore what happen, the structures which having a very high cost, which are precious, means we can say that those are very important, that we cannot change them regularly. For that purpose we can use the such type of the methods, that is called the impressed current. So this is all about the impressed current. So that method are said to be a cathodic protection. So cathodic protections are of two types, one is the sacrificial anodic and the second one is the bilingual impressed current. So with this we conclude our today's lecture. Thank you for the today's lecture. We will meet in the next lecture. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.